The Yao clan activated the heaven-transforming medicine formation, summoning the remnant soul of the Medicine Emperor in the hope of driving back Nihility Devouring Flame and averting the destruction of their clan. Yet Nihility Devouring Flame relied solely on his own overwhelming strength to crush the remnant soul of the Yao clan's Do-Di ancestor. With the clan pushed to the brink of annihilation, clan leader Yao Dan entrusted the clan's most gifted younger members to Xiao Yan. One after another, countless members of the Yao clan detonated themselves, sacrificing their lives to preserve the last remnants of their bloodline. At the same time, Hun Yan, one of the Soul Clan's 4 demon saints, pursued Xiao Yan and the others without mercy. Drawing upon Little Yi's power, Xiao Yan fused several heavenly flames and condensed a terrifying 8-colored fire lotus. The resulting explosion not only severely wounded Hun Yan but also shattered the spatial blockade, tearing open a rift through which they could escape. Xiao Yan and his companions immediately rushed through the opening and fled the Yao realm. Yao Dan watched Xiao Yan disappear into the distance with Yao Tian and the others. A relieved smile appeared on his face. In the next instant, he detonated his own body. The destructive force of his self-destruction was no weaker than Xiao Yan's 8-colored fire lotus. A violent tremor once again swept through the blood-soaked realm. Hun Jing and Hun Yan glared toward the place where Yao Dan had exploded, furiously cursing the old madman. In their eyes, Xiao Yan and his companions would never have escaped had Yao Dan not sacrificed himself to stop them. However, the two of them soon regained their composure. The fragment of the Tuashi ancient god jade that Yao Dan had guarded was already in their possession. More than half of their objective had been accomplished. Hun Jing and Hun Yan were not the only members of the 4 demon saints who had taken part in the siege. Hun Sha and Hun Tu, whose strength was comparable to theirs, had also arrived. The other 2 had remained outside the Yao realm, helping Nihility Devouring Flame maintain the spatial barrier imprisoning the entire clan. Hun Yan immediately sent a message to Hun Sha, ordering him to intercept Xiao Yan's group along their escape route. He and Hun Jing would remain behind in the Yao realm. Their true purpose in coming here was to collect the source of the Yao clan's bloodline. This bloodline power could extend the Soul Clan's own bloodline for nearly another 1,000 years. Moreover, if their clan's great plan succeeded, their leader, Hun Tiandi, might become the first Do-Di to appear on the Do-Chi continent in almost a millennium. With that thought in mind, Hun Yan ordered the Soul Clan experts under his command to slaughter the surviving members of the Yao clan and begin gathering their bloodline power. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan and his companions followed the spatial rift and escaped to the region near the Shinnong mountain range. After finally escaping danger, Xiao Yan and Yao Lao breathed sighs of relief. They had somehow broken free from the hopeless trap laid by the Soul Clan, but their survival could only be described as fortunate. The dozen or so young members of the Yao clan whom Xiao Yan had rescued were overwhelmed with grief. Facing the direction of the mountain range where the Yao realm had once stood, they dropped to their knees and silently mourned their fallen clansmen. After a long while, Yao Tian rose and turned toward Xiao Yan. He cupped his hands solemnly. "Master Xiao Yan, you saved my life today. I have no way to repay such a debt. From now on, whenever you have need of me, I will gladly risk my life for you." "There is no need to speak of repayment," Xiao Yan replied softly. "It is enough that you remain alive. If Senior Yao Dan and the others had not sacrificed themselves to protect us, none of us would have escaped. What should we do next?" Yao Lao asked. Xiao Yan fell into deep thought. The Soul Clan's actions had been unimaginably cruel. Not only had they destroyed the Yao clan, but they had also mercilessly killed the elders and representatives of the various sects who had come to attend the medicine ceremony. However, the major factions of the Central Plains were insignificant compared with the Soul Clan. Even if the truth were announced to the world, those factions would be unable to inflict any meaningful damage upon such a powerful ancient clan. After careful consideration, Xiao Yan decided to take Yao Tian and Yao Ling to the Gu clan and request their assistance. Among the surviving ancient clans, only the Gu clan possessed enough strength to stand against the Soul Clan. The remaining Yao clan survivors would be placed in Yao Lao's care and escorted back to the Heavenly Mansion Alliance. Traveling with too many people would only slow them down and leave them helpless against the Soul Clan's pursuers. Elder Shinnong had already drawn the attention of the Soul Clan, and they would never allow him to escape peacefully. He therefore volunteered to accompany Yao Lao to the Heavenly Mansion Alliance. Xiao Yan gladly agreed. Elder Shenong was a 6-star Do saint and one of the greatest alchemists in the world. With him joining the Heavenly Mansion Alliance, they would gain another formidable pillar of support. Just as everyone finished making their arrangements and prepared to separate, Xiao Yan's expression abruptly changed. He suddenly turned toward a nearby mountain peak. A dark figure stood there, gripping a massive saber and staring coldly at them. Elder Shenong's face darkened. That is Hun Sha, one of the Soul Clan's 4 demon saints. His strength is no weaker than Hun Jing or Hun Yan. The Soul Clan truly sent out all of its greatest experts to destroy the Yao Clan. Before his words had even faded, Hun Sha's figure flashed and appeared directly in front of Xiao Yan and the others. Hun Sha had not expected anyone to break through the seal created by Nihility Devouring Flame and escape from the Yao realm. Even more surprising was the fact that the person responsible was a surviving descendant of the fallen Xiao clan. Fortunately for the Soul Clan, they had acted decisively all those years ago and completely eradicated the Xiao clan. Had Xiao Xian still been alive, he would have caused them unimaginable trouble. After all, when Xiao Xian had stood at the edge of death, he had still managed to wound Hun Tiandi so severely that the Soul Clan leader required nearly 1,000 years to fully recover. What do we do? Yao Lao asked quietly. They had only just escaped one deadly trap, yet they had already encountered another powerful enemy. Hun Sha was clearly not someone they could defeat easily. Once battle began, no one present would be his match. Xiao Yan's 8-colored fire lotus was terrifying, but it was impossible for him to unleash such an attack repeatedly. I will hold him back, Xiao Yan said immediately. Teacher, take everyone and continue according to our original plan. As he spoke, Xiao Yan took out the 9th-tier mysterious pill that he had refined during the medicine ceremony. Yao Lao relaxed slightly when he saw the pill, although concern remained in his eyes. The medicinal power of a 9th-tier mysterious pill was extraordinarily violent. After swallowing it, the user normally required several supplementary pills to help refine and control its energy. Otherwise, the body could suffer severe damage. However, they had no other choice. Yao Lao handed Xiao Yan a jade token. Once you escape, crush this. I will be able to sense your location. With those words, Yao Lao shot into the distance. Elder Shenong quickly followed, taking the younger members of the Yao clan with him. Hun Sha raised his hand and released a wave of Do Qi to stop them, but Xiao Yan moved forward and blocked the attack. Strangely, Hun Sha did not seem particularly concerned about Yao Lao and the others escaping. Instead, his greedy gaze remained fixed upon the 9th-tier mysterious pill in Xiao Yan's hand. Hand over that pill, Xiao Yan, and perhaps I will consider leaving your corpse intact. Refuse, and I will let you experience the agony of 10,000 souls devouring your body. Xiao Yan could not be bothered to answer him. He raised his hand and tossed the 9th-tier mysterious pill directly into his mouth. In an instant, vast and violent energy erupted from within his body. It surged through his veins and condensed into a crystalline layer of armor across his skin. The energy was so ferocious that even Xiao Yan, who possessed a soul at the perfect heavenly state, struggled to endure it. Yao Tian and Yao Ling, who had not yet left his side, were forced backward by the powerful energy waves. Hun Sha responded with a sinister laugh. Interesting. Refining a 9th-tier mysterious pill requires a great number of supplementary medicines. Swallowing it directly is no different from courting death. I offered you a path to survival, but you refused it. Do not blame me for being merciless. He raised the blood-red saber in his hand. The weapon was more than 2 meters long, and it released a dense, murderous aura as he brought it down upon Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan showed no weakness. He swung the heavy Shen ruler and met the saber head-on. After swallowing the 9th-tier mysterious pill, the Do Qi inside Xiao Yan had become completely uncontrollable. Every collision sent terrifying force surging through his body. Hun Sha's expression gradually grew ugly. Each time their weapons collided, the impact left his arms numb. Under Xiao Yan's nearly insane assault, he was gradually being forced into a disadvantage. Even so, Hun Sha remained remarkably calm. He understood that the 9th-tier mysterious pill was powerful, but Xiao Yan had no opportunity to properly refine its medicinal energy. Once that violent power was exhausted, Xiao Yan would no longer be capable of fighting him. Xiao Yan ignored whatever schemes Hun Sha might have been considering. He swung the heavy Xian ruler again and struck with tremendous force. Hun Sha was blasted several thousand meters away. Multiple mountains along his path were shattered into powder. Xiao Yan threw back his head and laughed. Excellent. Let us fight again another day. The moment he finished speaking, he turned around and shot in another direction. In the distance, a dark figure was already carrying two people through the sky. They were Yao Tian and Yao Ling, whom Xiao Yan had secretly ordered the northern king to take away while he distracted Hun Sha. Realizing that he had been deceived, Hun Sha climbed out of the ruins with fury twisting his face. He immediately chased after Xiao Yan and roared after him. Xiao Yan! No matter where you run, I will capture you. I will peel away your flesh and tear out your soul. After tricking Hun Sha, Xiao Yan quickly caught up with Yao Tian and Yao Ling. He took the two of them and flew at full speed toward the Gu clan's territory. Hun Sha had no intention of letting him escape and continued pursuing them relentlessly. After swallowing the 9th-tier mysterious pill, Xiao Yan's body had already been ravaged by its violent medicinal power. Even though Little E was desperately attempting to refine the energy, his efforts were barely enough to make a difference. Furthermore, even with the pill's power supporting him, carrying both Yao Tian and Yao Ling greatly reduced Xiao Yan's speed. It would not be long before Hun Sha caught up with them. For all three of them to survive, Xiao Yan had to make a painful decision. With my body in its current condition, I can only take one of you with me, he said. Hun Sha's target is me. Whoever separates from me should be able to escape with their life. The moment he finished speaking, Yao Tian and Yao Ling both declared that they would remain behind. Yao Ling acted first. She struck Yao Tian with her palm, blasting him away from Xiao Yan. Yao Tian regained his balance with great difficulty. His eyes became red as he watched Xiao Yan and Yao Ling disappear into the distance. He did not waste time arguing. Turning around, he flew in another direction. Yao Ling was held around the waist by Xiao Yan as they sped through the sky. A faint blush appeared on her cheeks. Ever since Xiao Yan had refined the 9th-tier mysterious pill at the medicine ceremony, Yao Ling had been deeply impressed by him. Later, when the Soul Clan's army suddenly invaded the Yao realm, he had fought through countless enemies and ultimately led them out of what should have been a hopeless situation. Without realizing it, admiration had grown into affection. However, Xiao Yan was completely unaware of her feelings. His attention remained focused on escaping from Hun Sha. The chase continued for several hours. Gradually, Xiao Yan felt his soul power beginning to weaken. His expression became solemn. If the situation grows any worse, I will send you away as well. Yao Ling gently bit her lip. Then she extended her pale, slender wrist toward him. Master Xiao Yan, my constitution is somewhat unusual. My blood has the ability to nourish the soul. Xiao Yan was startled. He looked at Yao Ling's beautiful face and saw that she was staring back at him with complete seriousness. She did not appear to be joking. Such a strange constitution truly existed in the world. It was no wonder some people believed Yao Ling had a chance of reaching the D state of soul power. Her extraordinary constitution was most likely the reason for her immense potential. Xiao Yan hesitated no longer. He lowered his head and bit into Yao Ling's wrist. His teeth pierced a blood vessel, and streams of blood flowed into his mouth. The instant he swallowed her blood, his nearly exhausted soul power recovered to its peak. His eyes regained their brightness. Her blood possessed an astonishing effect. For a fleeting moment, a dark thought appeared in Xiao Yan's mind. If he drained all of the blood from her body, his soul power might advance even further. The wicked impulse had barely emerged before he forcefully destroyed it. Xiao Yan looked at Yao Ling's slightly pale face and fiercely condemned himself in his heart. Thank you, he said apologetically. Yao Ling gently shook her head. Her beautiful eyes turned toward the space behind them, and her delicate brows drew together. He is getting faster. Xiao Yan's expression changed slightly. We are already close to the Gu clan's territory. Once we arrive there, we will be safe. He pushed his speed to the limit and shot forward. Behind them, Hun Sha's face darkened. He had nearly caught Xiao Yan a moment earlier, yet the young man had suddenly accelerated again. Hun Sha rapidly formed a series of seals. A massive black illusory figure, several hundred meters tall, appeared around him. He spat a mouthful of blood essence into the apparition and shouted coldly, "Brat, do you think you can reach the Gu clan and hide under their protection? I will not give you that opportunity." The moment his voice fell, his figure vanished. Sensing Hun Sha disappear, Xiao Yan immediately carried Yao Ling downward. However, the moment their feet touched the ground, Hun Sha tore through the space above them. He raised his blood-red saber and slashed down with devastating force. Xiao Yan was about to summon Little E and unleash the power of the 9 mysterious golden lightning when an elderly man in green robes suddenly appeared before him. With a casual movement, the old man completely dispersed Hun Sha's attack. His deep voice echoed across the mountains. "You dare kill someone within my Gu clan's territory, Hun Sha? You are far too arrogant." Hun Sha's face became solemn as he looked at the newcomer. The green-robed elder was Gu Dao, one of the 3 immortals of the Gu clan. Like the Soul clan's 4 demon saints, he was a 7-star Do saint. Hun Sha had not expected this old man to arrive at such a critical moment. He immediately claimed that the matter had nothing to do with the Gu clan and attempted to convince Gu Dao to withdraw. Gu Dao refused without hesitation. Xiao Yan can already be considered half a member of the Gu clan. Xiao Yan was stunned. Half a member of the Gu clan? What do you mean by that? Gu Dao smiled. You brat. In the purifying demonic lotus flames realm, you seized the opportunity to take Suner's innocence. Do you intend to deny responsibility now? Xiao Yan scratched his head awkwardly. He quickly changed the subject and told Gu Dao that the Soul clan had destroyed the Yao Clan. Although Gu Dao was deeply shaken by the news, he was not entirely surprised. Ever since the Xiao clan and Ling clan had vanished, the Gu clan had suspected that the Soul clan was responsible. They had merely lacked undeniable evidence. So it truly was your Soul clan? Gu Dao shouted angrily. Hun Sha responded coldly. What is the point of speaking nonsense? Do not worry. Your Gu clan will eventually suffer the same fate as the others. I am afraid the Soul clan does not have an appetite large enough to swallow us, Gu Dao replied in a grave voice. An appetite is proven by action, not words, Hun Sha sneered. Before his final word had faded, he raised the blood-red saber and attacked Gu Dao. Gu Dao did not retreat. He gripped his green staff and met Hun Sha head-on. The 2 7-star Do saints immediately began an earth-shaking battle. Xiao Yan wasted no time. He sat down cross-legged and summoned Little E, using the heavenly flame spirit to refine the remaining energy of the 9th-tier mysterious pill. Wave after wave of powerful Do Qi merged into his body. His aura continued rising, and faint signs of an impending breakthrough began to appear. Meanwhile, Hun Sha grew increasingly anxious as he fought Gu Dao. They were within the Gu clan's territory. The disturbances caused by their battle were far too great. If the other 2 members of the Gu clan's 3 immortals arrived, he would not only fail to capture Xiao Yan, but he might also be unable to escape. As these thoughts raced through his mind, Hun Sha condensed an enormous blood-colored blade and sent it crashing toward Gu Dao. Gu Dao easily dispersed the attack. However, the Hun Sha in front of him suddenly transformed into an illusion and silently vanished. Gu Dao's pupils contracted. He spun around sharply. Hun Sha had appeared directly in front of Xiao Yan and was bringing his palm down toward the crown of Xiao Yan's head. At that critical moment, Xiao Yan's tightly closed eyes suddenly opened. An aura several times stronger than before erupted from his body and soared into the sky. Hun Sha's expression changed drastically. A 6-star Do saint. You have already refined the 9th-tier mysterious pill. Xiao Yan ignored his astonishment. He turned his hand, and the golden lightning dragon coiled around his arm shot forward. It was the power of the 9 mysterious golden lightning that Xiao Yan had refined within the void lightning pool. The attack came so suddenly that Hun Sha had no opportunity to defend himself. The golden lightning pierced directly through his palm, blasting open a charred and bloody hole. The immense force also sent Hun Sha staggering backward dozens of steps before he could regain his balance. Gu Dao hurried over. Even he could not help inhaling sharply when he saw what had happened. The energy contained within that golden beam made even a 7-star Do saint like him feel deeply threatened. Hun Sha stared at the wound that had been burned through his hand, and cold sweat covered his body. His defenses had been completely useless. Had that attack struck his head instead of his palm, he would likely have suffered a severe injury. At that moment, a large group of Yao Clan experts began approaching rapidly. Hun Sha understood that capturing Xiao Yan was now impossible. He could only curse furiously. "Xiao Yan, remember this debt. One day, I will make you repay it." With those words, his body moved and transformed into a streak of black light, rapidly disappearing into the distance.